What is the weirdest
Yeah,
thing that has ever
usually
happened to you?
the what's that?
What is one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to you that you're not afraid to talk about on stream?
Oh, well, I would tell you anything, and that is a very loaded question. But of all of the craziest things, it's hard to put them into rankings. I think getting fired from the radio station was one, but I'd say number one was being a voice actor for a cult in Japan.
What?
That was a unique experience, to
Wait,
say the
what?
least. Yeah, I was there was a religion that popped up, and they needed an American voice actor to dub their videos. And I was only been here for about a year, and I got the opportunity, and I joined them, and I went to the audition, and they said, okay, well, today we're gonna pay you $450 an hour. And I was like, that's amazing. I'll say anything. And then I quickly regretted that. But they took me up to this room on the 13th floor, and there was this big gilded building, all this gold everywhere. And they sat me down. And I remember when I got there, it was already weird because I'll have to use a prop really quick. I'm gonna grab my Relax Kuma.
Oh God,
Relax Kuma. It was not Relax Kuma. It was a Sazai-san. It was a Sazai-san dog or something. And there was this beautiful young woman at the front reception. And she grabbed it and she said, "Hi there. Are you here to do the voice acting?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Say hello, hello, hello." And she was doing this number. And it was terribly frightening. And I said, "Yeah, I'm here." And she took me to the top floor. And she said, "Okay, well, today's thing is we want you to have the voice of El Cantare." And I was like, "What was that? El what?" She's like, "You know who like Muhammad is?" And I was like, "Yes." "Do you know who Jesus is?" "Yes." "Do you know who Santa Claus?" "Yes." They said all of those voices speak to one. That's you, and it finds your body, and then you speak as El Cantare. And I said, "All right." And so I had to watch this video, and as the dub is going by, I had to recreate it. And I thought, all right, well, I'll just read along. And I was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Yep, El Cantare is ready." And it started, and I'm reading. I'm like, "The heavens have spoken, and the gods have decreed that I can delete all universe." Can I read that one more time? And they're like, "Yeah, actually, you know what? Could you try it again? But remember that all of the voices are speaking to you." And I was like, "Right, Santa and the leprechaun and all of the ones." And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, let me try to, I'll give it a little more gusto." So we start the video again. And I said, "The heavens have spoken, and they're," and she's like, "Stop, we're just not really hearing Jesus." And I was like, "Okay."
Holy shit! What the
I
fuck?
was like, "I'm not El Cantare." I realized no one's speaking to me. But I'll go full Dynasty Warriors 3, and we'll go, there's an old acting trick where if you start at the top, it's easier to tell someone to do less, and then you can build it off that. And she's still holding that dog and watching me. And so I went full, like I had to even gesticulate because I was like, "The heavens have spoken." And she was like, and I did about 45 minutes of just ridiculously awful scream shouting. And as we're recording all these things, I'm not making this up, hand to heart, I swear to God, this door opened in the back because we were in like the 13th floor of this lobby. It wasn't a voice acting booth. It was just like a room, and I had a mic in front of me. And about a dozen or so hooded figures came in, and on the very front, there was one of them who was holding a pillow, and on the pillow was a gold gilded dagger, and they were making some sort of strange chants. And she's like, "Oh, time to go." And I was like, "Ah!" And so that was the end of that job. And they thought, "We really hit it off with you. Do you want to come back and do more voices?" And I was like, "No, Santa's telling me that's enough. I think we've I was like, ho, no, I'm out. We're done."
Holy shit!
So
that's terrifying.
it was terrifying, but they did pay in full. So I got my $450, and I kept on moving on. But like, it was those kind of experiences, and like, you know, I've had so many of that weird stuff. Like I've been a model for a punching bag that you could find at Don Quixote.
What?
I've done so many strange jobs. My job history is ridiculous, but it's those kind of experiences that really shape you who you are.
Wait,